I think you come to the Belgium to win it. Wabash always fight.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Don Morel Show, your chance to hear the thoughts and comments of the head football coach of the Little Giant program. And Coach, we get a chance to chat after a really good home win on Saturday, a 41-24 victory over the Ohio Wesleyan Battling Bishops. And it was a must-win game for the Little Giants because of what had happened the week before with some of the losses around the conference. It also set you up to be able to have a win that throws the Little Giant team right back into the conference mix for a possible conference title.
We like where we are, where we're positioned, and you've heard me say this 10,000 times. We're just going to play one game at a time. Last week in college football, Notre Dame got beat, USC got beat, Alabama got beat. I don't know if that's happened in my lifetime on the same weekend. So anybody can beat anybody on a given weekend.
Let's talk a little bit about the game. One of the first things that jumped out to me was the play of the offensive line. I mean, that front of Ohio Wesleyan is incredibly talented. Markel Henry may be the best defensive end in the conference, if not the region. He is an outstanding player. And your offensive line was able to keep him out of the backfield. He only got to Liam one time, and Liam was able to throw the ball away. You really kept them from being a force in the football game.
Great. It's a tremendous offensive line. They've played well. We've gotten a couple guys back that have been injured, and we're really gelling at the right time.
I was just going to mention Cannon Kelly back. That allowed you to get back to your original formation on the offensive line. How great was it to have him back and to get everyone back in their normal positions?
It was great, and it allowed Mark Castor to move, where he should be. Both the tackles, Quinn Scholar's playing very well. Joe Mullen is playing well. Cameron Ford. And you need to play, I think, your best football in this conference. It needs to really start in the middle of October, so we're right where we want to be.
Good day offensively, both in the passing game and in the running game. You got 3 touchdowns rushing. Cade Campbell, Donovan Snyder, Liam Thompson all found the end zone, and then Liam threw for 375 yards. Threw a couple of beautiful passes to Penn Stoller and Heisman Skeens, who then turned on the Jets, turned those into touchdowns. A great touchdown reception on a slant across the end zone by Derek Allen Jr. as well. So you really had all phases of the offense moving, both of the running game and the passing game Saturday.
We did, and it's great when you can distribute the ball to 4 or 5 different people. You have a decided advantage, I think.
And a tremendous job by the defense. First of all, the front line really did a good job. They provided some pressure. You got a couple of sacks. You got some good tackles for loss. You didn't allow Gifford, their running back, to really get loose all afternoon. And then the linebackers and the defensive backs really combined and took what could be a dangerous receiving core, really took them away, didn't allow the quarterback, Caden Boza, to really find any targets out there, and really allowed you to jump out to that 41-10 lead, which is where the game really was until the fourth quarter when Ohio Wesleyan tacked on a couple of late touchdowns.
No, played great on defense, tremendous effort. For us to be good defensively, we need to play really, really hard, and we got that Saturday.
Before we talk about this week's opponent, we're talking about the defense. We had an opportunity to talk to one of the stars of the defense on Saturday. Little Giants had 3 turnovers, 3 interceptions that led to 13 points. One of those came after an interception by senior Jose Franco off a tip by Will Netting. We had a chance to talk to Jose earlier this week. Joining us this week on the Don Morel Show is Jose Franco, a senior cornerback for the Little Giant program, and Jose was named the North Coast Athletic Conference Football Defensive Athlete of the Week, and you were also named the Wabash Special Teams Player of the Week. 8 tackles on the game against Ohio Wesleyan in the 41-24 victory by the Little Giants. You had your first interception of the season against Ohio Wesleyan, your 6th of your career. Take me through that interception. It was kind of it was the classic tip drill for defensive backs. Will Netting laid out and tipped the ball, and you were right there to grab the interception and got a big return that set up a Wabash touchdown, one of 3 picks on the day that led to 13 points. Kind of take us through that play, Jose.
Honestly, we've been studying this opponent for the last 2 weeks, and I've seen a familiar formation, and based on the coverage we were playing, it seemed the best coverage to play. So as I read the quarterback's platform as I was reading 1 and 2, and honestly, I just kept going vertical, and I saw the ball in the air and tried to make a play when I seen that Will couldn't catch the ball. It was a tip drill, and execution is key.
Well, it was executed perfectly. Again, it was a play that then set up a touchdown, gave the Little Giants the big lead there in the third quarter, a game that Wabash really needed to win. And you get ready to go to Oberlin this week. Oberlin is a team that hasn't had a lot of success in terms of wins and losses, with an 0-6 overall record and an 0-4 North Coast Athletic Conference record. But you can't take them lightly. You've got all of your goals in front of you, still tied for first in the conference standings, still have the opportunity to win a conference championship and to play in the NCAA playoffs. So you can't really take them lightly. So what do you do to prepare for a team like that, knowing they haven't had success, but also knowing that they've got guys on the field that are going to try and win and will present a challenge for you?
Okay, so like you said before, we got goals bigger than just one game. We playing 1 week at a time, as usual, and we just keep playing with high intensity and great communication, and just we don't look at the opponent that's in front of us, because we're just going to play Wabash football.
You, as I mentioned, were the special teams player of the week for the Wabash football team. So you get a lot of time on special teams. How important is that to you? I mean, that's a portion of the game that a team can really turn their fortunes around. If they can get a big kickoff return or a big punt return, can set something up, it can really kind of change the fortune. So how important is it for you to be on that special teams unit and to be able to make a big plays like you did Saturday, along with your defensive play, to keep teams pinned back deep and force them to have to face a long field against your defensive unit?
I think that's very useful for me to be on the special teams, because as a defender, coming from kickoff, you get great field position if you make a play. And obviously, if you get bad field position, you didn't get to make the play. But being a special teams player and making plays is awesome, man. I tell you, it's something I always wanted to do. I was always a special teams player. Growing up, watching a lot of special team guys, and you need all three aspects of the game to win the game, whether it's offense, defense, and special teams. So Wabash is big on making plays on all 3 of them. So.
Jose, you're no stranger to conference championships, being part of the Wabash College track and field program as well. A very successful program under Coach Clyde Morgan. You've been an individual conference champion, and you've been part of conference championship teams. How does that success and the efforts you put in to try and win those conference championships, both as an individual and as a team, how has that carried over to your success on the football field?
Coach Morgan always told me to keep fighting even when adversity hits, and to keep pushing yourself to levels that you don't think your mind or body could get to. So every play, I just try to play 110 miles per hour, and we see what happens.
Jose, tell us a little bit about yourself. What's your major, and what are your initial plans after you graduate from Wabash?
My name is Jose Franco. I'm from the Bronx, New York. I play football and run track for Wabash College. I'm a rhetoric major, Black Studies minor, and I plan on doing real estate when I graduate.
That's Jose Franco. He was the North Coast Athletic Conference Football Defensive Player of the Week, Wabash College Special Teams Player of the Week, as he and his Little Giant teammates get ready for an important North Coast Athletic Conference game at Oberlin this Saturday. Now back to more of the Don Morel Show. That was Jose Franco that we had a chance to visit with earlier this week, and we talked about getting ready to go to Oberlin this Saturday. You face a Yeoman team that, again, as we mentioned during that piece, 0-6 overall, 0-4 in North Coast Athletic Conference games. But they've been close in some games. They have some talented players. Chris Allen Jr. is a veteran in this league. As a senior quarterback, he's got a good wide receiver in Brian Calaruso. I mean, what have you seen on film that you have to be prepared for on Saturday when you make the trip up to Oberlin?
More so than Oberlin. Right now it's competitive at spots on our team to play. So we have internal competition, which just makes you better. So we need to be Wabash. I feel like the quarterback has been at Oberlin for 7 years, but he is a talented athlete. They can score points in spots. Collectively as a defense, they have a number of really nice players. It's just going to be whether they can put it together one afternoon. I hope it's not this Saturday, but we really just need to be Wabash.
That game is a 1 o'clock kick at Oberlin. Links to the Oberlin broadcast and the live stats are available on the Wabash College schedule page for football and the overall schedule page. I will not be making the trip with the team. Wabash soccer team that plays DePaul this afternoon as we're taping this on Wednesday afternoon. We wish Coach Keller and his team good luck in that game. They also have an important conference game against the College of Worcester here at Mud Hollow Field on Saturday, so I'll be staying at home for that. But Oberlin will have a good broadcast. They'll have that link available again on the schedule page. That begins at 1 o'clock before we're back here in the following Saturday for the Wabash game against Hiram. Coach, best of luck. Safe travels to Oberlin. And I know every game throughout the end of this regular season is important, so best of luck and go out and get us a win on Saturday.
Thank you.
You've been watching The Don Morel Show, your chance to hear the thoughts and comments of the head coach of the Little Giant program. We'll talk to you next week.
I think you come to the Belgium to win it. Wabash always fight.